Hello, thank you for joining us today. My name is Cindy Sharkey and I'm the Director of Sales Operations with Freeman. We are the official service contractor for DOMOTEX. And over the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you some important logistical information, such as how to save you both time and money, some tips and tricks in your pre-planning, as well as how Freeman is here to make this a great experience for you. So let's get started. First up, for each 10 by 10 booth space, they will include an 8-foot high black backdrape with 3-foot high black side dividers. On this event, for sustainability purposes, we will not be printing out any ID signs, so make sure that you plan for that. It's important to know that the exhibit area is not carpeted. However, the aisles will be carpeted in both tuxedo and red. All right, what you're looking at is a list of Freeman services, but as we go through the presentation, you will see that we are here to really provide you with so much more. I will also be doing a quick demonstration on how you can go onto Freeman Online and order these services. In addition to Freeman services, there are additional service providers, such as at the Georgia World Congress Center. That is where you would order your electrical as well as your internet. In addition, there's specialty contractors such as Kuhn and Nagel. They are the official freight forwarder. And then LeadNet is a lead retrieval, and then you have your National Plant Floral as well. What's nice is on Freeman Online is all of their information can be found on one central location. And we will get into that. What you are looking at is the home page of Freeman Online for DOMOTEX. Once you are on the show website, if you go to the top and select Exhibit and then Exhibit Resources, there will be a link that says Service Manual. So from the show website, you select Service Manual. That will take you here to the Freeman Online homepage. If this is the first time you are exhibiting on a Freeman event, Freeman Online will prompt you to create credentials. It'll just take less than a minute. Once you do that, you search for DOMOTEX and it will get you here. So once you get to the home page, there's several ways to navigate through Freeman Online. The first way is at the top left-hand corner, there's this menu button. This will take you to all the different pages to Freeman Online. That's one way to navigate. In the middle here, you'll see this really great timeline, which is very useful because every circle represents a critical date that you really need to be aware of. And it also tells you how many days you have before that critical date hits. One of them is the discount deadline date, which is February 5th. You definitely want to keep that one in mind. As you go down the timeline and as you get closer to the event, it will tell you all the milestones that are ahead of you. So it's really great for pre-planning. In the middle of the screen, you'll see there are these call-out tiles. These tiles is the other way that you can navigate through Freeman Online. So you can either do it here through the menu bar, or I like to use these tiles with the images. This first one is how you would browse our catalog for Freeman services, such as carpet, furnishings, labor, and so forth. It is also the area of where you can find your other service providers, such as the electrical, lead retrieval, internet. They're all located in one central location, which makes it easy. Shipping, it is just that. Freeman also has carrier services that can ship to and from the event for you. So if you're interested in an estimate, you can certainly do that. Concierge services, I'm going to talk a little bit more about it, but our concierge will be on the show floor with you, and they are there to assist you, and I'll talk a little bit more about what their function is. Order from previous show. This is really nice. If you have exhibited in a Freeman event before, this gives you access of your previous orders, and you can simply duplicate them and add them to your shopping cart, and that saves you time from having to browse the catalog again and again. Orders and invoices, it's just that. This is where you can retrieve and review your invoices. Notifications, I'll talk a little bit more about that, but this is really great. This gives you the ability to sign up for a series of freight text messages. It's very handy for pre-planning. One of my favorites is you can sign up for a notification when your empties have been returned. So that's a really great time saver, and it really takes a lot of stress out of the move out portion. Show contacts, this is where you can find contact information for both Freeman, the show organizer. You can access the shipping information to our advanced warehouse and the facility and so forth. A lot of great information there. And the Freeman Online mobile app, I will talk to you in just a little bit. Okay, let's transition to pre-show planning tips, and let's really start getting into the details of your event. First off, the show schedule. Hopefully this is familiar to you, but just real quick, Exhibitor Move-In begins on Tuesday, February 26th at 8 a.m. and runs through Thursday, February 12th from 8 to 10. This is really just a touch-up day. Exhibit hours, the show opens Thursday, February 28th at noon and closes Saturday, March 2nd at 1 p.m. Move out starts at 1 p.m. through 6 p.m. and then runs through on Sunday as well from 8 to 12. So hopefully you are familiar with that schedule in your pre-planning. All right, this is a very popular topic because as you exhibit, as you know, the union jurisdictions is an important area to pay attention to and very important for your pre-planning. It does vary from city to city. So here you go. This is what you can do if you are a full-time employee of the exhibiting company. You can hand carry your small packages. You can do that as long as they are through the main entrance in the front, or if there's a specified hand carry area. You cannot pull up on the back dock and start unloading. You have to be able to hand carry it. You can set up your exhibit as long as you don't use any power tools, and as long as the employee is a full-time employee of your exhibiting company. You can also hire Freeman labor if you have the need of ladders, power tools, and things like that. You can hire labor with those power tools. What you can't do is you cannot use dollies or pallet jacks or any flat trucks to bring your items in and out. Definitely can't do that. No motorized equipment for any reason. And again, I had mentioned it earlier, no unloading and reloading in the dock areas. So these are important considerations to take when you are pre-planning. So listed here is a lot of information. It is all in the service kit, but I did pull out some critical dates that potentially could cost you more if you were to miss them. So I'm going to walk you through these because they are very significant in your pre-planning. First up in the pre-show is where we are now. The advanced order deadline discount date is Tuesday, February 5th. When possible, try to do as much as you can in advance and not leave everything to when you get on site. It is more costly on site. By ordering online and in advance, you can save up to 40%, which is substantial on Freeman standard furnishings. You will also want to make note of the other service providers of what their discount deadline date is. It may not be the same. We will begin accepting shipments to the advanced warehouse on Monday, January 28th. Highly recommend you ship to the advanced warehouse for a couple reasons. Not only when you arrive, will your shipment be waiting for you in the booth. It's a really tight move-in time, so you'll need all the time that you can get. Also, you'll be able to set up in a timely manner, which is really nice. The last day to ship into the advanced warehouse is Tuesday, February 19th. If for some reason your carrier is late and they deliver it after that time, we will always take it in the advanced warehouse. You don't have to worry about that. But if they are late, then we would charge you a late arrival fee. So you just want to make note of that date. You have about 30 days to ship to the advanced warehouse. Transitioning to the move-in portion of the show, Freeman will occupy the facility beginning Tuesday, February 26th. That's when you can ship your goods in. I have a note here, it says target dates apply. We're still formulating what that looks like. It generally applies to the larger exhibits that have larger crates coming in, and we want those to come in an orderly fashion so that we can set up in a timely manner, and it's also for your safety. So you will hear from the DOMOTEX if you have a target date for your freight to arrive. We would like all exhibits to be installed by Wednesday, February 28th by 5 p.m. Again, the following day is just for touch-up. Transitioning to move out, this is really important when you are planning your travel back to your destination. The empty returns, all your empties, cases, cartons, and crates, we will return those at the close of the show. Right before that, though, we have to roll up the aisle carpet. Once the aisle carpet is rolled up, then we begin returning the empties. The small cartons are first, then we follow with cases, and then the larger crates come after. That whole process could take between 2 to 4 hours for all the empties to be returned. So that's important to note. And then on the outbound, we need all the carriers, regardless of who you choose, they need to be checked in by no later than Sunday, March 3rd at 10 a.m. If your carrier 1 does not arrive, or they are late after this deadline, a couple things could happen. We may take your things back to our local warehouse and we'll hold it for you and let you know your carrier didn't arrive, or we'll get it onto the show carrier on its way to its final destination. Either one of those scenarios will cost you, so just make sure your carrier is aware of that. Okay, a couple of hanging sign tips. We do get a lot of questions. Hanging signs, we're referring to those signs that are hung from the ceiling, not the ones that are hung on your display. So there's two different things. If you do have a hanging sign, you must ship it to the advanced warehouse no later than Monday, January 28th. Make sure that you are shipping it separate from your display. You don't want to have it intermingled within your display crate. That will definitely cause a delay in getting your sign hung. Hanging signs apply to booths that are 20 by 20 or larger, so this does not apply to the 10 by 10 inline booth spaces. There is a structural integrity form you would need to fill out that is in the show kit before we can hang it for you, and then always submit a diagram for placement. The one thing I would add is on your diagram, make sure you have a contact number and a cell phone so that we can get, if we have questions, we can make sure that we hang the sign right the first time. You don't ever want us to have to go back and make adjustments, because that would be a labor charge for you. All right, machine tips. Machines must be shipped directly to the Georgia World Congress Center, so different from the hanging signs. Machines can only be accepted on site, care of Freeman. You'll want to make sure you have a separate weight ticket for your machinery equipment and your display. Make sure your machines are on skids and blocks or in crates, so it's easily maneuverable by a forklift. If it's not crated, make sure that you shrink wrap it so you can protect your equipment. We always recommend a company representative to be in your booth so that when we deliver your machine, we can place it right the first time. Whenever we have to bring motorized equipment back to the booth, that could potentially be an additional labor charge for you, so just keep that in mind. If we have to do any additional assembly, bolting, unbolting, unskidding. You could be subject to additional labor charges as well. And then typically there are designated empty stickers for machine skids because we like to house those in one central area and return them in a timely fashion so that we can get your machines hooked up and loaded out. All right, a couple of really important cost-saving tips. That's a big reason why we're talking today. First and foremost, again, order by the deadline dates. That is true for all service providers. Where possible, consolidate your shipments. We have a 200-pound minimum for material handling, and I'll explain a little bit more of what that means. You want to reduce your exposure to special handling, and what we mean by that is whenever we have to add additional labor to unload your cases, cartons, and crates, that could be bumped up to a higher category called special handling. How to avoid that is just make sure your carrier skids all your boxes, shrink wraps it. That way a forklift can just go in and pick up your skid and deliver it right to your booth. Avoid shipping anything loose or pad wrap pieces. Again, just have it skidded and shrunk wrapped and you'll be good to go. Pay attention to those shipping deadlines. So we're referring to the advanced warehouse deadline, when you can ship directly on site and things like that. Where possible, order labor on straight time. There's lots of opportunities for that. Again, send your hanging signs to the advanced warehouse. If they do arrive at show site, you could potentially be charged overtime to hang your sign. And then make sure your carrier arrives on time. Those are all very helpful cost-saving tips. Okay, let's transition to shipping and material handling. I know we get a lot of questions on this, and it can be quite daunting arranging for these things. So starting off, if you look at this infographic, I wanted to just briefly explain the difference between shipping and material handling because it is quite different, and you need to know this for your show budgets. So if you look at this truck here, this truck represents your carrier. So regardless if you choose Kuhn & Nagel or Freeman or what have you, your carrier, once they arrive on site, Freeman will then unload your shipment, deliver it to your booth. Once you have set up your booth and all of your containers are empty, Freeman will then store your empties for the entire duration of the show. Once the show closes, they will return your empties to your booth space. Once your carrier arrives, Freeman will then load your shipment onto your carrier who you have designated. That process in black is called material handling. The process of your carrier dropping off and picking up, that is shipping. So it's two different things. Again, regardless who your carrier is, everyone, I repeat, everyone needs this document. It's called a material handling agreement. And what this does is it tells us who you have chosen as the carrier to pick up your shipment and who we are authorized to load your shipment to. And there's several ways to get the material handling agreement printed and delivered. One of the ways is there's an outbound shipping form in the kit that you can complete and fax in. Under browsing the catalog or shop services, you will see a material handling icon, and in that icon you click on it and they'll give you an outbound form that you can complete right online and submit it, or you can simply just go to the Freeman service desk and you just let them know, I need to arrange for my material handling agreement. Before the show closes, we will, one more thing to add is we will also print out your shipping labels. Let us do that. It'll save you a lot of time from having to write. You also need a separate material handling agreement for every different destination. So if your shipments are split and they're going to 3 different cities, then you would need 3 different material handling agreements. Once before the show closes, we will deliver your material handling agreement. When you are all packed up and ready to go, you just complete a couple of the areas, and make sure you turn this into the service desk. You can hand it to your concierge, and you never leave it on your crates and leave. You never do that. We need to know that you are all packed up, and the way we know is when you turn this in. That way, when your driver arrives, we will know that you are ready to be loaded up. So just make sure that never leave it on your crate. If this were to get lost, then there's just a lot of potential things that could happen in delaying you getting your things back. And then just make sure that your carriers arrive no later than Sunday, March 3rd at 10 a.m. Okay, let's transition to when you arrive on site. Once you get your badge and you get situated, first thing you do is you get in the hall and you find your booth. Go to your booth space, make sure that everything has arrived. You'll want to grab some empty stickers at the Freeman service desk. They may not be all the same color, so you'll have to make sure you select the right color. I'll talk a little bit more about that. If you have ordered labor, you will definitely want to check in with the Freeman service desk so that we know that you are here. Bring all tracking numbers and order confirmations. You know, we're really good at tracking down freight, but we do need a starting point. So for every shipment, make sure you bring the pro numbers and the tracking numbers, and we can help you. We are really good at tracking down freight, and we've done it for many years, but it's very difficult when we don't have a starting point. The order confirmations are particularly important because if for some reason your order was not fulfilled correctly, having your order confirmation not only will get your order filled, but it will assure you the advanced rate. And that is true for any service provider on the show floor. So make sure you have those items with you. You may be doing a lot of walking, so make sure you have comfortable shoes on, and you can count on Freeman personnel. You know, when you see a Freeman person with a Freeman badge, just know that we are highly empowered. Yes, we have guidelines we need to follow, but we are flexible based on the circumstances. And so please ask us any and all questions. Even if it's not Freeman related, we know where to go. We know the right help to get you. Truly, we are there to make this a great experience for you. So please rely on us in that way. The Freeman Service Center, you will find signs to the Freeman Service Center. We will be there for extended hours of operation all throughout the move-in, the show hours, as well as the move-out late on the first move-out night. There's a dedicated phone number, so you can actually call us. You don't always have to come see us, so if that is easier for you, we're happy to do business over the phone at show site. You'll see a delivery schedule, which will give you an idea of when we're delivering our tables, chairs, wastebaskets, and so forth. So just in case you think you might be missing a piece of furniture, we just may not have delivered it yet. It's also where you pick up your empty stickers. Again, there will be a color-coded floor plan, so just make sure that you grab the color empty sticker that applies to your booth zone. You can arrange for outbound shipping, so Freeman can assist you with shipping your items back to the destination. This is where you can arrange for that outbound material handling agreement. Very, very important. Also, you can order show services on site, but again, really try to do your advanced work in the beginning. It is going to save you a lot of time and money on show site. We can track shipments for you. Again, bring those pro numbers. We're happy to assist in that regard. We can print out your invoices, and again, any and all questions. That's why we are there. When you get to your booth, I want you to look for this flyer. It's a show flyer. It'll let you know who your concierge is in your designated area, as well as their personal cell numbers. Really, we want to give you easy access to Freeman by bringing the service to you. I know a lot of times you might be the only one in your booth space, so just call us at the service desk or call your concierge and we will come to you. We'll save you a tremendous amount of time throughout the duration of the event. All right, the Freeman Concierge, these guys are great. They have been in the industry for a very long time, very familiar with your event, as well as the Georgia World Congress Center. And I really love this quote by one of our customers because it really speaks to why we have them. And it says, "I really like the fact that you assigned a customer service agent to me and provide me with the cell number. I found my concierge to be extremely helpful since she was able to come to my booth rather than me having to find the Freeman area of the show, and this made a huge difference in how I view Freeman." So just know they are equipped with the technology to track freight, place your orders. They can even contact other service providers for you. Really any and all questions. So if I was exhibiting, I would absolutely get to know my Freeman Concierge. There is no additional cost to you to have a concierge. They're there to just make it seamless and a great experience for you. If you are one of those that likes the self-service, we have Freeman Online Mobile. You can download our mobile app at freemanonlinemobile.freemanco.com right here at the bottom. You can download it on your mobile device. You can place orders directly through the app, receive notifications. I talked about a series of freight alerts, which are really great, especially if you're helping to manage multiple booths or you're the only one in your booth space. You can sign up to receive a text message in the move-in when your carrier has checked in, when freight has been delivered, which is really great because you can have the flexibility of being in your hotel or running an errand or doing something different. We will let you know when your freight has arrived. This is if you ship direct, of course. On the move out, we'll send you a text message when your empty crates have been returned. So at the close of the show, you really could go and grab a bite with a colleague, which many exhibitors opt to do, and we will send you a text message when your empties have been returned. That way, you're just not left waiting and wondering, when am I going to get my stuff? We will send you a notification, and there's no cost to that. And then the last one is you can submit your material handling agreement online, which is actually this function right here, which is really great. So that saves you from having to hand that piece of paper to somebody at the service desk. If you submit it online, it's just as good, and we'll send you an electronic copy. You can also find out show information, such as the show schedule, service desk number, and so forth. It can help you track freight. If you shipped with Freeman as your carrier, you can track it here. And then the concierge services is really nice because you can talk back and forth with your concierge. It's almost like texting back and forth, but it goes directly to your concierge in your area. So feel free to call upon them through the app if that works better for you. All right, let's talk about a little bit more about empty storage. I know this is a lot of information, but you can always contact us and we can walk you through all of this. But it's important to know regarding the empty storage. When you are setting up your booth and you are unpacking, it is very important that you do not put an empty sticker on your cases, cartons, or crates until everything is gone out of there. Because if you were to put one of these empty stickers on there with your company name and booth number, this guy right here, this forklift driver, he is going to assume that you are ready for storage. So he will just come by and he will take it. And he will put it in storage off property. So what's important to note is if you left something in there, it will be very costly, time-consuming, and hard to find if you left something in there. So do not put an empty sticker on it unless you are ready for the storage. All empty cartons, cases, and crates must be removed from your booth, so you can't tuck them behind a curtain or something like that. That is a fire hazard, and the fire marshal will find you. During the move out, again, all empties will be returned at the close of the show. It'll take up to 2 to 4 hours for all the empties to come back. Down here, hire Freeman supervised labor. If you are worried that you're going to miss your flight, you're going to miss a meeting, and you're getting very nervous about not being packed up in time for what you have going on, you can always hire Freeman supervised labor. You can simply contact your concierge, go to the service desk, and let them know that you need to catch your flight and that you need help packing up your booth. We can do that and make sure it gets on to the carrier that you have designated. And then just make sure that you have turned in your material handling agreement or you have submitted it through Freeman Online. All right, so now what? Again, I know that was a lot of information. Call us, email us. This is our contact information. You can call the email or contact the Atlanta branch directly. They are absolute experts on the facility. They are the same folks that will be with you at show site, and they know your show very well, so please reach out to them. We also have a customer contact center. They can also answer your questions. They also have translation services, so you just let them know what language you need, and they can get interpreter on the phone in less than 10 seconds. So that might be helpful to some of you. They're also open for extended hours, well into the evening, as well as on Saturdays from 8 to 5. So that is the end, but we are just so excited to serve you. We know it's going to be a great show, and please reach out to us if there's anything we can do in the meantime. All right, thank you so much.